Hi.
Oh, so subdued. Hello.
What if?
You were starting like that, huh?
Delicious dish. You're on the air.
Delicious dish.
How's Louise?
I am so good.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean,
That's nice.
like, all things considered, if you
Let's
just,
not-
like,
yeah.
ignore the rest of everything.
All
and
the
just
things.
focus on the things that I can control.
How's that going?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Serenity praying it up.
Serenity praying it up. And I feel like I've been engaging in fun hobbies and staying busy on the weekends and
Does that help you?
prioritizing things like taking walks, and that helps.
That's great.
Yeah, you got to do that radical self-care these days.
I wish I could go on walks, but it's been like weeks and weeks of just like icy tundra.
Yeah, I will
around
say
here.
that one of the walks I went on was while it was snowing. So.
Well, it's not that. I'm saying like it's ice.
Oh, okay. So it's like freezing temperatures and you're like slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, there was this one day where I went to leave to go to the gym, and it was like such bad ice on my drive that like the car just starts going backwards.
That's my worst fear.
And I'm in park.
No.
Like braking in park, and then I just was like, I just turn the car off, and it's still going.
Yeah, you
And
just
I'm
surrender
like
to
going back, and Adam and Liggett are coming running out to like rescue me or something. I don't know what they think they're gonna do, and I open the door because I'm like, I gotta like fucking stop, drop, and roll out of here.
Yeah, jump out.
Because I was
Tuck and roll.
gonna go over the hill, like it's a hill,
Did you e-brake that bitch or what?
No, I
guess the wheels just get locked up and you'll still slide. It doesn't even matter. What can you do?
turned the wheels so that it went into like, an embankment instead.
Yeah. Oh,
But
smart.
like, Adam was like scolding me, being like, "You do not open the door and you do not jump out of a car if it's rolling." And I was like, "Well, but I was going to go over the hill." And he goes, "Yeah, but if you get out on ice and then you fall, the car's going to run you over."
He's right.
I know. I hate when he's right. So stupid.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. I'm so glad you didn't die. Oh God.
Thank you, Sarah.
Susie.
Speaking of not dying, by the way, I would like to give an update on my breast rupture.
Please, we're all dying to know.
My implant, if you were not familiar and you missed that episode, I went for my mammogram and the technician said I had a ruptured implant. So, well, I am happy to report that my implants have a lifetime warranty. So they do have to come out and get replaced. But
This is a best case scenario.
well, I mean, that's a good point. Like, as long as there are no like health effects, which
right. But they're coming out. Like they're.
I know, but I kind of feel like there's probably stuff that happened to me that we thought were like spider bites and stuff that were probably freaking rupture bites.
I mean, I did say that last episode.
That's what I think. I think you were right. Like autoimmune shit.
I think I was right too. I usually am with things like that.
But they call it a lifetime warranty. But like, actually, I think it's 10 years. Because that's like the lifetime of the implant.
Oh.
But guess what? Remember how I said that the tech looked at my last image and she was like, "Oh yeah, it was there last year too."
Yeah.
My 10 years would have been August 21st. And I had that first mammogram on August 4th.
Oh my God. So you get
like
to say
2 weeks before like the 10-year.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
This is like the car going in for repair at mile 99,999 on the 100-mile warranty. 100,000-mile warranty. Wow.
Anyway, I'm just saying, get
So
your
are you
mammogram.
going to be able to get does that
Yeah,
it
you have to
counts
get
'cause
the
it's
same
within?
style. Like
But not the same.
that, like mine are called like gummy bear. Cause
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
you,
yeah.
But you could get a different size if you wanted.
Wow. And you get like a little
What should I
Redo.
get? I want to crowdsource this. Everybody weigh
I want
in.
you to have more of a teardrop shape.
Oh my God, what do I have?
More volume in the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
think-
have more volume?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe not as much volume in the top because I think that'll make you feel like you're not like they don't like sit as high.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
not.
I hate those ones.
I hate
They're
that I
like
had
Lauren
that answer
Sanchez.
on like ready to go. I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you should do to
You're
your
like, I've
tits.
been thinking about your breasts.
Yeah, I actually have
and
been. Yeah, and this is what I would do.
I'm glad. I hope a lot of people are thinking about them and will tell me what I should get. Teardrop, giant melons,
No.
saggers. I don't know. I don't know what kinds there are, but
I think that's how they sort them. Yeah,
saggy,
the old saggers.
natural style.
Big
I
old
would.
nat-
I wish
big
you
old
could get
natties.
natural style.
Well, that's what I think a more teardrop look will do. It'll
That
be
was
more
never
like.
offered to me.
Well, I don't.
You know what I
need-
mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like they just have circles. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, there's got to be a profile like a.
Different.
Right?
I only was given the option of size, not shape, before.
Well, what do I know? I don't even have. I got.
know.
I got little teeny tiny titties, so I know nothing about this.
All right. Well, I'll keep you posted on my breast journey,
Yeah.
my ruptured journey. What's new with you, Louise?
Oh,
Just the hobbies and shit.
Just the hobbies. I wish I had anything new to report. Am I doing anything new? Have I done anything recently? No. I mean, I was really excited about this whole all the planets being in alignment thing, and I was going to look at that, but it was a cloudy day and I couldn't see anything. So I was
You were
like,
stoked out of your mind about it.
well, yeah. There was
the
an
little
opportunity
things.
to
It's the
see
big
it through a
things.
telescope, and that could be cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
I saw
terrifying.
like 3 of the planets, like all, and it just looked kind of cool. Like,
That's nice.
you know,
I'm
so
glad you
that's
still
come
take
and
time
gone,
for these
but,
things.
But you know, hoping for a clear night.
One other thing that I enjoyed recently was, do you remember how I had the reunion for the Revolving Door Faith Club that I
Yes,
created
yes.
in the year of our Lord 2012, I guess?
Yes.
Well, so anyway, the Revolving Door Faith Club is a bunch of people who I know who wanted to explore different religious faiths and traditions. And so we tried a different religion every month for 6 months. And we would meet with like
cool.
rabbis and monks and whoever. And they would tell us like how best to practice that faith for 1 month. Anyway, we all get together recently and it was really special because what's cool about the Revolvers is we have no interest in small talk. So it was like, I haven't seen these people, a lot of them in like 12 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like immediate, like the good stuff.
Yes. Love that.
And I asked one of the lesbians what her favorite thing about Trump was, which I do think is a funny thing to ask. If you know somebody does not like somebody, if you force them to name their favorite thing, and it's not meant to be a joke, even though I do find it funny. It's meant to like challenge.
Ugh. Do we have to pick a favorite thing? It feels hard to do that. Like, I mean, I guess his ridiculous love for McDonald's.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that
I mean,
kind of is
I
silly
can share,
to me.
I share that. Mhm.
That's yeah.
Well, so she answered, and she answered honestly, and I really enjoyed hearing it. But
I want to know what somebody else would answer. What did he get?
she named a policy that she liked, a tax policy that he implemented. But what you're mad about that?
I went the McDonald's route.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
like
cool too. And one of the people there is a professor of political science, and somebody said at the table, like, why can Susie ask that question? And like the scholar said, because people know that it's not a trick. That she genuinely wants to know the answer. And I was so flattered by that.
Yeah.
Because that's true. It is not a trick. I do find it entertaining.
Right. But those
But
are
I
two different
genuinely
things.
wanna
You're
know,
not trying
and
to
I
trap
thought-
somebody.
No, I genuinely want to know, like, what is your favorite thing? Okay. Anyway, I'll tell you what I do love.
Yeah.
With all my heart, and I could never pick a favorite thing about, and that is Caraway cookware and bakeware.
Amen, sister. Well,
That brings us all together.
And these pans, these are going to last a long ass time. Mm-hmm. I have had this pan now for 2 years. Mm-hmm. I should take a picture of it and show you what it looks like, what the inside looks like, it is gorgeous, like brand new looking.
Yeah. They're so high quality.
Because there are some other items, other brands out there that claim to be like coated and stuff. That coating doesn't last.
Yeah.
That stuff chips.
You can read
like,
about that online. Like everyone's like, I got duped kind of.
I hate that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And
these are like proper
best.
pieces for your kitchen. And if you like cooking and baking, you will love these.
Yeah.
And you can pick any color so they look amazing in your kitchen. You could leave them out for Pete's sake.
yeah.
But they're non-stick and non-toxic, which is a magical element. I don't know how they did it. And they are so effective. You will love them. They have a deal. Caraway cookware set is a favorite for a reason. It will save you $150 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/braincandy, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/braincandy or use code braincandy at checkout. Caraway non-toxic cookware made modern.
Yes.
Okie doke. Sarah,
Yes.
what am I going to start with? I don't know. We'll do a little debate.
I love a debate.
In The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times, it's like their sports outlet, there was an article about, okay, you know the hobby of trading cards, like baseball cards and stuff?
Yes.
And that if you have like a box of unopened cards,
Yes.
this can be something that you buy at auction or on eBay or wherever. And like the assumption is it could be worth $1 gazillion
Right.
or it could be worth like kind of nothing.
Yeah.
And so now there's this industry where all these CT scan companies will scan the boxes without opening them
Oh, no.
for the owner. And then the owner knows what's in there. And if it's a bunch of hot garbage, they will just like sell it on eBay and the person doesn't know. They think it's the lottery still.
Man,
What do you think?
is nothing sacred anymore? I hate everything about it's
Why are you
battle
upset,
with
though?
technology? Like, I love it, but hate it. But because it's like taking
You
the
feel
fun.
like it's cheating?
Yes, I do. I hate it because it's not. Because I know the idiot dude who, and yeah, it's a fucking dude who is the one doing the scanning, doing that thing, and I know who the amateur collector is who's not doing the scanning.
What are
who's
you
getting
picturing?
the box.
What's your fan fiction about this person?
Lincoln versus
Goliath.
yeah, basically. What the fuck is his name? Who's the in? Oh my God, what is that show called?
Oh, like
That
Pawn
everybody
Stars?
loves. No, that is about the nerdy guys.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Thank you. Big Bang Theory. There is there's an arch
Sheldon?
nemesis
Oh.
that they all hate, who is the some child actor from some techie show. I can't remember, but he like plays himself in and now he like owns a comic book store or something, and he's the arch nemesis. Like he's like the asshole. And it's him. It's that guy who's scanning it, and we all fucking hate that guy.
Okay.
And then he's gonna go and sell it, and he's gonna be like, "What? That kid should have."
Hey,
got
it's a risk.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I
And,
love it. I got to tell you.
I know that. I knew you were going to. Tell me why.
Well, I think the trading card thing is ridiculous.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
And I mean, I get into all kinds of ridiculous things, so I'm not judging that part. But the amount of money, especially, have you ever read any like critical essay or anything about the way that we treat like female fandom, like Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Versus like the way men behave about sports?
Yes, 100%.
So, like, this kind of feels like poetic justice, where, like...
because I did say it's always dudes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's, like, but I guess the people winning are dudes, too. Like, it's these... So, I don't know. But it just feels like this hobby is absurd.
It is. Okay. I see where you're coming from.
It's a model of scarcity. So, there's, like, these, 4 cards everyone wants.
All right. And it's, like, a fucking made-up... system that is totally arbitrary. Like, come on.
Yeah, so I kind of think it's delicious. I think that it's a funny little
you've convinced
loophole. But if I picture like a 13-year-old kid who saved up his newspaper money,
that's what I'm picturing.
That sucks. But I kind of feel like it's all adult weird.
If
bros.
it's that, then I have in my storage unit a binder full of Pokemon cards from the early 90s. Mm-hmm. There have got to be some valuable ones in there. That
you
go
can
for
send
something.
those off, and they will tell you.
I feel like there's got to be a way to check that.
Are they in mint condition?
I mean, mint. Yeah, I mean, I think
mintish. Hey, this could be your golden goose.
I know. What if it is? What if I got like a $20,000 thing hiding right in there?
How awesome would that be?
Dude,
you got like fucking Charizard.
Right. I probably
burning a hole in your binder.
Yeah, it's like the original one.
Oh my God.
Gotta go through that shit.
Hey.
I'm like seeing right now like the dollar signs in my eyeballs like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Okay, so like just to wrap up this topic, there are all these people who are objecting of this technology, and they're angry with the company that will do it, even though the company's just like, what? We just have CT scan. Like, what do you want to?
Yeah, don't be mad at them.
They just feel like it's unethical. And I can see why you might think it's gross and like that's not very nice to do. Yeah. But I don't know if I would go so far as to say unethical. I don't know. They say
if you are selling it as a mystery box and it's not in fact a mystery,
it's a mystery to the purchaser.
Right. That feels like, a stretch.
Yeah, that's what it said. That like, if you know the contents,
right,
and you list it as like, who knows,
right,
then you are like lying either explicitly or implicitly.
Yeah, but then again, if I were like trying to unload a bunch of clothes on like a Facebook Marketplace or like Poshmark, and I was like, mystery box, $20, I wouldn't expect them. I know what's in it, but they don't. Mm-hmm. You know? Okay.
Yeah, right, Sarah.
Right. This starts to get tricky.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, maybe we'll do a poll and see what people think. I think most people will feel like it's unethical and that I'm like this gross.
I just feel sad for the kid. Yeah.
Well, maybe we should teach our kids not to buy shit like that.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I have to catch up on that.
Next up on my agenda is the loneliness epidemic is so brutal, evidently, in Japan that a lot of elderly women are purposefully breaking the law so they can go to jail and have friends.
No.
Yes.
This. What? Okay.
She's glitching.
We need better third spaces.
Ugh.
Is that
I know.
it? What is happening?
I was surprised it was happening in Asia because they have more of a collectivist culture. But I guess it's global because of digital culture, digital media, social media, and that a lot of people are lonely everywhere. And so these gals are like freaking resorting to a life of crime to get arrested in their like golden years and then at least have some friends in jail and get free food and health care and senior care.
I mean, I kind of get it if you're feeling real lonely like that. Like,
can you believe?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
This makes me so sad because I don't have a solution for this.
Yeah.
You know, there's, and it's like you said, like there's supposed to be a country that in my mind is getting it right.
I know. And
You know, what happened to that Okinawa Blue Zone thing everybody was selling me on?
Yeah, it specifically referenced at this article. And perhaps it is the case that they're living so long. That there is a downside to living a really long time.
Well, that's what my grandma said. My grandma was like, I am ready to go. All my friends have died. 2 husbands have died. Like, she was ready.
She had it.
She's like, well, she was so sad after her friends died. She's like, everybody I loved is.
Think about that. That if you live long enough, that's a beautiful thing in a way.
Yeah.
But that you have endured the death of everyone you knew when you were growing up and
That's
your whole
so
life.
sad.
Yeah, so
It's hard to, you have to continue with that's why we need better, like, communal living spaces. I really love the stories that I hear about young people who live with old people.
I know.
Where it's like the senior, what are they called?
like a
Like a nursing home,
living.
but it's like not senior living. Like the nursing home sounds like not the right term.
That's
right.
right. Those are different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a senior community or whatever.
Yeah. Senior community where they have like young kids, like 21, 22, 23, like those guys who are living there. And that seems like how it should be.
Yeah.
We need
I
that.
mean, ideally you have that kind of generational connection organically.
Right.
But it's pretty cool if you don't, if you could like create it. And this article said that from 2003 to 2022, that Japan's largest women's prison, the number of prisoners quadrupled that are over the age of 65. So we know this is like a thing.
My God. And I wonder what is cheaper for their government?
Yeah.
To just provide senior living facilities.
Yeah, if you give them resources outside of prison.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell? This is the problem when we have like the military industrial complex. I mean, that's it. If the prisons are privatized and there's money to be made off that, then that is not going to change. Oh,
I'll tell you
so sad.
Something that is not sad, and that is how good I smell thanks to Lumi deodorant.
Shout out
it's
to
the
Lumi.
best.
Let me tell you.
Shout out to Lumi.
When I go snowboarding, I get my clothes on at 5 o'clock in the morning, and those clothes do not come off until 5+ p.m. in the evening, and they are
ripe.
Yes, and not just in my pits. So thanks to Lumi, I put that everywhere because it's an everywhere deodorant.
It's an everywhere deodorant.
I put it on the stinky places.
Yeah, you could put it anywhere.
And
vag,
I
feet.
don't smell at the end of the day. And if I did forget to put it on, I can just put it on right over, and it has like little things that just go yum, 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 and eat up all of the stinky bacteria.
It's awesome.
And I smell fine.
And
like the wipes.
Yeah, you can get the wipes. You can keep them in your car or whatever.
Yep.
It's so handy. Lumi Starter Pack is perfect for new customers as well. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and then you get 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash, which is that acid something.
Acidified body wash. Yep.
And deodorant wipes and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code BrainCandy15 for 15% off your first purchase at LumeDeodorant.com. That's code BrainCandy15 at LumeDeodorant.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lume.
Yes.
Alrighty, moving on. Okay. I read this really awesome article. It was actually in the BBC, and it was about Renaissance artists.
Oh,
and
yes.
it was talking about an exhibit of like these special like nude sketches, but in so doing, they were describing like what it was like to draw nudes at that time in the Renaissance. And it was saying that the complexity of the human body and how difficult it can be to create and draw and paint was considered like the ultimate test of a Renaissance artist's talent. And then it was saying how like they did animal sketches and tons of male nudes, but it was very rare to have any female nudes because at that time, like it was a Christian focus and male bodies were seen as being in the image of God. And so they were like seen as like the special thing that we would honor. And this is the crazy thing. So at that time, women really couldn't get nude in front of a man who wasn't their husband. So that was part of the reason why there weren't a lot of like paintings or drawings of female nudes. But also like when these artists would want to draw a female nude, they would have to rely on male models and then like just hope for the best. And so like all these dudes were getting naked and then the artist is like trying to create a female body of it.
I cannot believe that I have never heard this. Like,
Yeah.
that is... I thought you were going to say they went to the mortuaries and the morgues to look at the bodies. Know about that all that stuff. But I was never going to guess that they would have men and then just like
Try to sort it out. And it said that it led to distortions and misunderstandings in the depictions of the female body.
When I think about some Renaissance paintings, there's one in particular of a woman lying on the couch. It's like, I think it's called
She's
that.
like hanging off of it, kind of.
And she has way too many vertebrae.
No.
Yeah, like the body, if you look at, and that, there are a few paintings that I can think of where the proportions are not correct when it comes to women's bodies.
Yeah, it like looked wrong. And you're like, maybe they're just like terrible painters. But really they were probably looking at some bro. And and it said that because there weren't a lot of female artists, that all these depictions are through the male gaze. And so like usually when you'd have female nudes, it was either symbolizing purity and truth or shame. Which
the Madonna child thing.
Not much has changed. Like I feel like that's still the way it is. It's like femme fatale or
the Madonna
like a mother.
whore.
Yeah. I thought that was
oh my
interesting.
gosh, that's really. I'm trying to go through my mind of like Renaissance nudes, and you're right. I can't think of.
They said
It does feel
Raphael
like-
was like the first one to be like, no, get the ladies in here. We got to. Michelangelo, he was doing men.
Yeah, well, that's because I think a lot of them were gay.
Big time.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When you hear like stories about Michelangelo,
He was like getting boners.
also who I was for my third grade biography project.
Michelangelo.
Yep, and I dusted myself with flour to make it look like
That's really cute.
like.
Do you have any photos of this?
Not
How
of
about
that
paintings,
one.
sketches?
Yeah,
Anything?
what if I did? Yeah,
Okay. Anyway, that was a really fun article on the BBC.
very interesting.
Okay. let's talk about one of my favorite game theory subjects, the Monty Hall dilemma.
I don't even know what this
You
is.
do.
Oh, tell me. Okay.
Okay. I'm sure you'll know. So this is a probability dilemma that is like mind bending. It makes people crazy. It makes people very mad.
Oh, I love these. /hate.
You're on Let's Make a Deal.
Okay.
Monty Hall is the host. There are 3 doors.
Oh, yes.
This classic.
Yes.
There's a car behind one door. There are goats behind the other 2.
Right.
You pick a door.
Yeah.
Then Monty reveals what is behind one of the other doors, and it's a goat.
Right.
And then he says, would you like to switch your answer from that door to the other available door?
Yeah.
And then, famously, Ask Marilyn von Savant, or whatever her name is, wrote this thing in Parade magazine in 1990 when I was 10 years old, and I'll never forget it because it was such a firestorm. She said, you must always switch. You must.
I thought
it
it
is
was
the
always
correct.
hold on to it.
Never.
Never
hold on.
wrong. Okay.
Yeah, you're wrong. You got to switch. And people, statisticians, PhDs, all these smart people were fucking furious at Maryland. But it is the correct answer. And so, number one, I want to talk about why it's the correct answer.
I want to know because it is the opposite of what I would think.
Yeah. Okay, so it really is a mind bender because naturally, so he's revealed the goat. You've picked door 1, and now we still have door 2. We don't know where the car is. Right. And your brain, as a human being, says, okay, now we've reset, and there's a 50-50 chance, right, that I picked the right one.
Right.
But the truth is, if you switch to the other door, your odds go from 33% to 66%. And that makes no sense to a human brain, but it is true. Mathematically. Here's why.
Yes, because you've already eliminated one of the possibilities.
Well, you know that a goat is behind one of them.
You have certainty of one.
So now you have 2 doors left.
Yeah.
Here's what makes me understand it the best. Because I've heard all these different people trying to say, here's why. But the one that made sense to my brain was, imagine Monty had not revealed what was behind that one door.
Right.
And he said instead, would you like to switch from your choice to having both of the other ones? Everyone would do it. If he said, instead of just getting door 1, you could get 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Would you like to switch? Everyone would be like, oh, of course. I'm going to choose where you can get 2 doors instead of 1.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
That's essentially what you're doing when you switch.
You are getting 2 doors
for the price of 1.
For the price of 1.
If you think about it that way.
Yes.
Now,
and you want to switch. So
you must switch.
You have to switch.
You still could lose, but you have doubled your odds by switching. Okay, so that's just mathematically true. But what's interesting to me, apart from that fun little that is so weird. Well, for starters, the reason why it's true and wouldn't be true normally is because Monty Hall knows where the car is.
Yeah.
So he's revealing that goat door knowing where the car actually is. He didn't just choose one at random. If this were just like rolling the dice, and there were only 2 doors left, that would be 50-50.
That makes total sense to me. That part makes total, because he's telling you where it isn't.
He's omniscient.
And because there isn't the option of him opening that door and there actually being a goat.
Being a car.
Or being a car. A car.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. Being a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, get the goat. The goat's the prize. I forgot. Car. Yes. I was thinking no, nothing or a goat. No, the car. Yes. That there is the opportunity for that door to open and be the car if that were the case.
Yeah.
But that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So you do get 2 for the price of 1.
Okay, so then the other part of the Monty Hall dilemma that is so fascinating to me is that even when people know the math and the statistics of like why you really should switch, 85 to 90% of the time they will not do it.
Right.
And that they, psychologists or whoever, talk about the reason is because we would rather regret our original decision than if we switched and were wrong.
Yes. They've tested, the studies to test this are really interesting about offering people the opportunity to return stuff or not return stuff and how satisfied they are with their item. Like like posters, like you get your choice of all these posters. And if there is the opportunity to return it, you are less satisfied with it. But if there isn't the opportunity to return it, you will convince yourself, love it. That's the best poster that there is.
Right.
You are more satisfied when you don't have the option to trade it in, which shows that our brain will trick us into being more satisfied with something that is like our like if that's the only choice we had or something. Even if we really regret it.
Like after we make a decision, like we'll simulate the outcomes of the choices we didn't make. Like by telling ourselves something like, if only I'd chosen differently. But that scenario, like counterfactuals, are not as potent if we stuck to our first choice. It gets more salient when you switch and then lose. Yeah. And like
I get that.
Regret fucking sucks, but it sucks more if you like second guessed and still lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that wild?
Yep. Like that's the classic when you erase the answer and then you change it. And that hurts worse when you get that wrong.
Yeah.
Even if your original answer wasn't the right one, than when you just got the answer wrong and you didn't for some reason.
It's such a fun thing to talk about and like consider, and it makes people so mad, which I love too.
Yeah. Okay, so always switch. I knew that there was one answer that's right, and in my mind I was like, whatever it's the opposite of what I would do. I would switch. Okay, it's the whole look.
Yeah, you got to switch.
You got to switch. Always switch.
The article that I was reading about it was in Scientific American, but you can find this is like a fun thing for all over the internet, but that there is just so much gravity to that idea of like there's two things, it's 50-50.
Right.
Like there is such a pull of our brain to be like, no, that's it. But it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So our brain, I think, does like things that are yes, no, binary, like black and white.
Yeah.
Two options.
Okay. Did you read about the influencer lawsuit where the one influencer is suing the other one for like stealing her vibe?
I heard about that. Is it like a neutrals vibe?
Yeah, it's like beige.
Yeah, it's like beige. I heard about this when it just started. What's the follow-up?
Man, it's been going on for ages, and I don't think there's been an outcome yet. Like I don't know who won or if anyone did yet. But I really just wanted to know your opinion because the lawsuit is such that these are two like sort of lifestyle influencers who, do the old like take pictures of their house and their clothes and stuff and post it and then like link all their stuff to make a commission and get sponsors and things like that. And these gals knew each other kind of casually and like in a business setting. Yeah. But then one of them felt like the other one was like copying her posts, copying her style, copying vibes. And like, in the lawsuit, like there are pictures that'll be like, here's one, here's the other, like for you to compare or whatever. And I don't know if she was or not, but like, what do you think should be the rule? Let's say it were you.
Come on. Let's go with the assumption that she was copying her.
Yeah, she was like, I love that fucking beige couch.
Who the fuck isn't in some, like, what is new under the goddamn sun? Like, and when we live in a world of things that are mass marketed and consumption culture, you're going to tell me that everybody needs to be like super unique in their posts you're out of your damn mind. If I see one more beautifully arranged acai bowl, I'll fucking
Acai bowl.
jump off a bridge.
Right. Okay, so the article that I read, I mean, there's a lot of them. The one I read was theverge.com. But the sort of takeaway from the article wasn't like whether or not the person was actually copying or not.
Right.
It was more like pointing the reader to look beyond these two hookers.
Yeah.
And see that they were both copying like Kim Kardashian.
Yes, of fucking course.
Yeah.
Who
That,
is
like,
also copying somebody else.
Yeah, it's
all
derivative.
Derivative.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
100%. Who is at the who at
love
the end of the
when you
day
get like
is
this.
just like copying. I know this. I remember when I was 13 years old and I was walking through Target with my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh my God, look at we wore those bell bottoms. We invented that. You're blah 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 blah." Well, now I'm walking through those stores, and I was like, "You didn't, Mom. We did." Blah. Now I'm walking through those same stores, going, "Oh my God, look at the bell bottoms that were recreations of what were recreations back then." And I find myself being like, "What we invent?" And then I have to catch myself and go, "No, you didn't. This is derivative again," and it's just how it is, and the fact that they are caught up in this finger-pointing lawsuit is such a misuse of time and energy for them, I think. And
Or maybe it's brilliant because I wouldn't known either one of these
I guess
losers
that's
if
true.
it weren't for this lawsuit.
it's brilliant if they are in on the joke and
Yeah,
are
we
going
should have
home
like
at the
cooked
end.
this up with somebody.
But
We should have sued somebody like this.
right? Can we just sue each other for something? I don't know. Yeah, like use that. But like, I don't have any money, so like.
Right. I hear what you're saying. Like, if they don't get that this is ridiculous, then you're like, get a life.
Get a life. Like,
Okay.
this is not where they're, because I understand when there's a lawsuit, when there's like an actual victim or like people as a whole are being duped or something like that. But
Yeah.
this is too
It's just
fucking
ego.
egotistical, like prima donnas with their beige sofas. Yeah, I get it. I'm saying that as somebody with a beige sofa. So,
Right.
what else?
Okay. I just wanted to know your opinion about it.
Yeah, I just think that if that's still going on and they're like, ladies, then I think it's personal and I'm like, this is about love or something, like somebody slept with somebody's partner or like this feels like personal. Petty.
Okay. All right. Now I have another question for you. I read this article about an art museum or whatever that had commissioned a piece by a local artist, and it was intended to be a permanent exhibit. And to me, like, you have to forgive me because I do get a little annoying about art where I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, artists can be a little weird. I am more on the like businessy brain type of person. Art I'm not great at, except music. Where I'm just like, I don't get it. So like, this was a outdoor. Like, it looks like a fucking bridge and a boardwalk out by the pond. Like, I don't know what's art about it, but evidently it's art. Okay. And then this museum or whatever could no longer afford to maintain the wood and stuff. All the severe weather was corroding it. And then it became like a safety hazard. So they had to like rope it off and it looked like garbage. And so they were going to dismantle it and remove it. And then the artist sued.
Oh, hell.
Okay, I'm so glad you're doing this.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Thank you.
Okay.
Get over yourself.
If you are an artist that chooses to work in a natural environment, then one of the mediums is time and nature itself. And you are, you know where we went to Falling Waters, the beautiful home that was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. And that on the tour, they talk about how
it's expensive.
It's expensive, but also how there was an understanding about how it was going to erode and break down and change, and things were going to be different over time, and blah, 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 blah. That you cannot sell your art to somebody and then dictate how that...
Well, this artist said and sued because in the sort of commissioning contract or whatever, it was intended to be permanent, and that museum or whatever should have budgeted better, because now they can't afford the upkeep, and this artist is like, fuck you, you made a commitment. Right. So, right.
Okay. The cut. I mean, it makes me a little less angry.
Sanctimonious.
But I still think that
calm down.
You know, for how long? Indefinitely? Mm-hmm. That's an
it's an impossible promise.
That's not a fair request, because then what there's got to be a clause to that. Like, what about in times of war or acts of God or whatever? And I feel like that should count as
done a better
like an
job
act
with
of
the
God.
contract.
They were somebody signing contracts all willy nilly. I don't
This
like that.
artist got a settlement, though.
See, I feel like if anything, they should then sell it back to the artist, or like
here's your bridge,
decommission it. Yeah, I don't know.
Here's your rotten wood.
Yeah, what was the settlement?
What do you think it should be?
Oy. How much was the original piece commissioned for?
That I don't know.
Okay, I would need to know what this artist's work goes for. And I feel like it should be.
This was the Des Moines Art Center, and the artist was named Mary Miss, whatever, and it is the installation was called Greenwood Pond Double Site, but for real, it looks like a walkway.
I would love to hear, you know, that artist, I don't know their name off the top of my head, that makes the jetties that are in like spiral formations. He does these huge, like, that'll change like the actual landscape of the area, like with rocks, and will make like these spiral formations out in the water. And I would be interested to hear what he would say about it, because he does these big, you know, essentially like nature art installations, but they're not designed to be permanent, because how can you do that?
Because that's a dumb thing to promise. You just have to pick a number, though, just for fun.
Okay. I would say, oh God, it's going to be so much fucking more than that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a lot or a little.
I know. I don't either. Like, if her art went for like $30,000, seems like a lot for a piece of art. So I'd say like $60,000.
$900,000 settlement.
Jeez,
that's a lot of dough for like a.
I can't.
like outdoor.
I
This is
don't
what
know
I'm like.
about
I'm like,
that.
I don't understand art. I think because this
I don't
nuts.
understand. I don't understand art either. And then I just can't. I don't because I can't see. What is she going to go on? Like, what has she done before? What is she? If she doesn't go on to make the fucking next, I don't know, Eiffel Tower, then something else
Yeah,
spectacular.
because they
then I
said
don't
to
care.
repair this piece of shit, it was going to cost $2.6 million.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So I guess that's a fair
Must have been
settlement.
big. I don't know. Okay.
I want to see this work now. What is it called?
It was the Des Moines Art Center. And her name is Mary Miss. And she is... I think she donated all the settlement money, though, so that's real nice.
Okay.
She's like the
Give you
nicest
that.
person ever, and we're like, fuck her!
All right.
All right. Well, I think the Des Moines Art Center needs to think better about contracts before they do shit like this.
It's a bridge.
It's a bridge over a pond.
And I would argue, not a well-constructed one if it needs that much repair that fast.
That's a lot of wood, 2.6 mil.
I can't.
All right,
I'm
last
sure she's a
one.
nice lady, but I can't with that.
God, right? There are a lot of things went wrong with that. Okay. Last thing. Well, you remember how we talked about the Aaron Hernendez
Yes.
documentary previously? Well, there's a new one on Max that came out, and I'm glad I watched it because it's totally different. And it was about, so Aaron Hernendez was the NFL player who ended up in jail for murder, who then died by suicide in prison. And then it came out that he may have been closeted and that contributed to some of his angst and stuff like that. This documentary was wild because they started back in his high school years, and then there's this photo of his football team from high school, and it's Aaron and these two other guys side by side, and all three of them ended up murderers who died by suicide. And I was blown away.
Oh, that's odd.
It is. And so then it was like, it did talk about the closeted thing with Aaron and what that was like, probably. But it was also like really getting into the CTE stuff
Yeah.
and how this particular
that's
coach.
what I thought.
Yeah.
It was way more CTE than
Than just like.
abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway when I saw it.
Right.
That CTE was the wood, the kindling, the fucking fireplace, the everything, the perfect conditions. And maybe being closeted was like a spark.
Yeah, because I think why people gave that component like an outsized weight was because he died by suicide the day after or within a few days of it being sort of put out in the media that he was probably gay. So then maybe that's why he died by suicide, but he had already murdered several people according to this documentary.
Yeah, and it was going to be anything, whether it was that coming out or anything, that there was going to be a spark. It didn't matter what the spark was. That things were set up to go up in flames, and it feels like maybe it was like that for these other two.
And one of the other two was also closeted.
Jeez.
And then the third one had been just served divorce papers, but
Right. Oh my God.
it is crazy because I don't know, man. Like football is really something, and it's crazy that it's like it's still so. I don't want to say anything bad because a lot of people really love it, and
Right.
we love it. We watch all the games. I get it.
I just think it needs to change. I think we need to move towards a future of playing flag football, and people don't like that.
They don't
but
like it. They like the violence.
I know.
Well, and like, do you know now Lincoln was showing me how some of the players can choose, well, all
Yeah.
of them can choose those special helmets.
Yep.
But like not all of them do.
Right, because they don't think it looks cool.
No, he said that they, the thing that's on the top that adds protection prevents airflow. And so it's like hot and it's uncomfortable.
Oh,
you
God.
know?
Yeah.
So it's not just that it doesn't look cool. It's also that like they feel like they're choosing between like this, like sort of invisible thing versus like today I will feel awful. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
I can remember a time when helmets for skiing and snowboarding weren't really a thing. Like not a lot of people were wearing them, and it like wasn't cool to wear them. Oh my God, 20 plus years ago.
But yeah, like they weren't there. That wasn't normal.
It felt like it wasn't the norm. And even if you watch, like I was watching a snowboard film that was from like 2014, and nobody's in helmets.
Did it look so weird?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I had a thought. Like then I went the next time I was riding. I was like standing in the line for the gondola, looking around at everybody in a helmet, and just thinking about how like I've upgraded my helmet to one that has like that MIPS protection, that MIPS, which is like motion integrated protection system or whatever it is that it stands for. I think that's it. But it's like to keep your head from like shaking and rattling around. That now their helmet, like I've upgraded my helmet to have that, and everybody has a helmet now. And there was a time where that wasn't a thing, and I can remember like getting in the argument with my mom of like, it's not cool. I don't want to wear a helmet.
Have you?
And now I would never fucking go for a second without a helmet on that. I'm going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah. Have you had?
I'm scared of a car accident at that speed.
Yeah. Has there ever been an incident wherein you felt like, boy, I'm glad I had a helmet on?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I know exactly where it was. And it was, I hit my head and I had that like feeling
like you saw stars or whatever.
Yeah. Where I wasn't okay. I had to take a beat. Like I had to sit down for a minute and like collect myself, like on the, like just make it down. And like I had the thought of like, okay, I survived that. And so that that was like the fastest I was ever going. And I hit as hard as I think you could hit your head with the helmet on. And it told me, okay, I'm going to be okay. Like this helmet will do its job and I'm safe.
Wow.
But that I wouldn't want to go faster than that. Like experience a head injury faster than that, or have that repeated. It was like on hard. It was on ice. It hurt. Oh,
yeah. I mean, in this case, like they did show a time when he got a concussion, and they was back when they would be like, he got his bell rung.
Yeah,
and then they like now if that happened, he would have been out for probably months. And in this case, they just gave him smelling salts. And back up and at him.
Whew.
It's horrifying to think about, and it's such a tragedy. But anyway, it was a really good doc. If anyone wants to watch it,
oh my God, that's
I would
terrifying.
recommend it.
Yeah,
really
I mean, we're. I don't know how. I would never let my children play.
Yeah, Link wants to play.
Like, okay, he could be a kicker.
Fuck, kickers are going to be the future of the NFL. Those guys, it's like just going to be kicks, I swear.
Right. That's because that's the only thing people will allow to do. That's going to be the most competitive.
Well, I mean, no,
position.
but like statistically, like these guys are so good now that they can kick from like a fucking other side and make 3 points or I don't know how many points you fucking get.
Yeah.
But like I was reading the data on like the frequency of these kicks. And you know how Larry David says that's like the thing he would change about football is like he wants to get rid of
That's so funny.
He's like now games are being decided by this like guy who just like walks out.
One time just bink.
But anyway, it's a dilemma because people love football, people love playing football, people love watching football.
I know
and it's
we
real
would
dangerous.
love flag football just as much. I really do think so.
That's
I think
real
the
nice,
moves are
Pollyanna.
cooler.
Oh,
I know.
the moves.
Yeah. I think the juking, like the moves that people do to get away from people grabbing their flag are cooler.
You love the fancy footwork.
I do. I think that looks cooler than just two freight trains running into each other at top speeds.
All right, I'm going to adopt that too, even though like it's a pretty hard sell.
Yeah.
But I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'd watch bowling if anyone was, fun.
Getting excited about it. But
Thanks for listening, everyone.
yeah.
I don't know. We talk about old Japanese people. We talked about annoying influence.
Community, we need more of that. Poor
And baseball card CT scans. We're gonna have
now
to get
I
a
feel
poll.
bad for the last episode where I was like, those researchers in Japan who are trying to like make babies from two men, maybe we fucking need it because everybody's so lonely and like.
Oh, that's a good point.
Then
I didn't know they were Japanese researchers.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we should. We were wrong about
What do we
everything.
know? I know nothing.
We'll see you next time, everybody. We love you.
Bye.